Hello and welcome to the Pacific Coast Auto YouTube channel. My name is Derek Weldon and we're looking at a 2005 Mazda RX-8. So this one here has quite a few visual modifications, including body kit, wheels, and spoiler. Has 125,000 kilometers on it, and this one here is bought from auction here in Japan. It's going to be exported to Europe. So it's kind of interesting to see the engine bay without the hood or the top cover. It's not a beautiful engine, and the top cover does look really cool, but you can't have that top cover on when you have aftermarket strut tower bar and aftermarket air intake. And so it's possibly making a little bit more power because of that air intake, but I don't know how much more you're going to be able to make. I don't really know the Renesas engine that well. Now this one is a Type S version, and that's the most powerful one. Japan, as usual, getting the good stuff for themselves. These cars usually make 220 horsepower, but this one here is I believe 240 is the Japanese Type S. In other markets, they come in 2 horsepowers, 190 and 220. Here in Japan, I believe it's 200 and 240, maybe. Look it up. But this one does have more power than the rest of the world. I did know that 2 weeks ago, and then now it slipped my mind. Okay, so it really goes to show how tiny the engine is on this. It's way back there. It's kind of a front mid engine because everything is behind the suspension struts. And so that gives it lots of good poise for driving. It doesn't make a lot of power until high in the RPM range, but probably the Japanese one makes the more power because of emissions things. And so I'm guessing this one's a little bit worse for the environment, as is often the case for Japanese cars, strangely enough. Now I have driven a Type S, I haven't driven this one. There's another one on my channel that is an Oops version. That one I drove. I quite like the way that they drive. That one was too noisy and annoying to drive, and this one, although it looks more aggressive than that one, is not actually that noisy and annoying to drive, or at least to pull out. Looks on it a pretty extreme, highly stretched and aggressive tires. They actually stick out of the fenders a tiny bit. I'll just show you that. You can see the rims stick out and then the tires stick in. Especially this rear one. It's quite a cool look, I have to say. Okay, so let's go over the auction inspection sheet, and I'm going to translate that for you. Oh, before I do that, I just want to mention, notice how the hood is coming up in the back? That's an old school mod that gives you the air coming out of the back faster than it normally would, so you can keep your engine bay cool. And then you don't have to pay anything except for a handful of washers that you put underneath the hinges there. I'm kind of happy that they did that. Okay, so 2005 RX-8 Type S. Okay, 2-wheel drive, of course, rotary engine, auction rate R, interior B-, exterior B. The exterior B is a little bit nice. You can see the diagram notes here. You can see lots and lots. Whoa! Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? So clean and nice. Not clean and nice. Okay, but it's not really as bad as it looks. It has hood fade on the top there, and then a number of areas of damage. The biggest one, U3 here, which is really like a U2 in my opinion, and then the U2s here are more like U1s. And so I think that the person was having a bad day, maybe had a fight with his wife or something, and was angry and is going to take it out on auction sheets. Okay, so aftermarket aero, wheels, adjustable suspension, aftermarket exhaust, rear wing, Galaxy Gray Mica. Galaxy Gray Mica is the color of the paint, I guess. And this original gray. This one here says it's a late model version of the car. Various aftermarket parts to see in person for details, modified air filter, and then hammy-dashy tires, which means stick-out tires, because they come out past the fenders, which is not allowed for Japanese registration, so tisk for this owner. Okay, interior dirty, scratched, seat cigarette burn. Ooh, didn't see a seat cigarette burn. Pause that for now. I'm going to go do cigarette burn hunting. The interior strangely smells like manual gear oil. Maybe that's what they call cigarette burn. It is a little bit melted, but it's not so bad. Not bad. Okay. Going back here, what else do we have? So front inner panel has been replaced. This is an R grade, so it's been in an accident. Core support has been replaced. Exterior has some paint peeling and paint comes up. The paint comes up is a little bit on the rear door here. So rear doors shouldn't be too expensive to replace. That's what I would do if it was mine. The paint fade on the roof, well, we have a dirty car that hasn't been washed, so it's hard for me to see. But here and here you can see white spots. Headlights are pretty bad. Okay, go back to this one here. Rear fender arches modified, basically rolled fenders in order to fit the tires in there. Hood comes up. That's the back section here that has been propped up. No problem on that. You can remove that if you want. Wheels paint cracked, which is a shame because the wheels are so... It's such a big part of the looks of this car. The gray with the gold and chrome wheels and then big dish. And then the paint on them is cracked and it looks like it has been spray painted. Have a close look, you can see. And it's on the same, it's the same on all wheels. Aero parts scratched and cracked and paint uneven. It's not really that bad, but the front bumper doesn't look like it's been, the proper amount of mica is added. And so there's, it looks worse there on the camera than it does in real life, or at least on this screen. The color difference between the two. There's a shadow of me and my cat on my camera. And I have to say I like the look of this bumper. It's kind of purpose looking with the smaller intake than you typically have. But then because of that you have this big wall here which has rock chips all over it. And then it's a really low car and so you're going to end up scratching things. It has an intake here. Kind of cool. I like that. And then so much room in there. You could have 5 cats sleep in there. Put a little pad in there and then a note here. Cats come in. They can all sleep in there. And it's probably pretty safe. There's no fan inside to chop them up. There's a radiator instead. Okay, what else we got here? Steering wheel wear. Trunk has modification holes because the rear spoiler was removed and then sealed up. Underside scratched and dented, dashboard cracked. Apparently this is a thing on all of them because it needs to be soft enough for the airbag to get through, and then it cracks just because it's too thin of a material. Headlights are cloudy and something else like peeling or something, I can't read that. Wheel scratched, various scratches and dents, and door mirrors scratched. Okay, a lot to go over on that one. Typically we would consider this to be kind of a lower grade vehicle, kind of the bottom of the price range. When you buy the cars from auction like this one was, the condition really matters, how much you want to pay or how much you're going to pay. And so if you do want to bid on something like this, then you're going to be able to get it for the appropriate price considering the condition. And so that's one of the big benefits of buying from auction over a dealer, because you never really know the condition when you're buying a car from the dealer unless you see it in person. But with the auction cars, you get the full report as done by a third party, and so it gives you a little bit more trust in the condition of it. And you may find that some dealers, I mean it depends on the dealer, but some dealers will target lower grade cars and then not tell the customers about the condition just because it's easier to make money that way. And it sucks, but that is life. The rear wing is about the same level as the roof of the car. I love it. Now I don't want a big wing like this on my car, but if you do have a wing like this, you can sleep more cats on the back. Look at that. And it does suit the car kind of. I mean, the wheels, the wing, and the front bumper. It's a package, and it's cool. I like it. Okay, side skirts have scratches in them. I couldn't really find any cracked parts per se, but the paint has been rock chipped off. And then, typical of Japanese cars, this is really funny, Mazda speed on one side, and on the other side, Deep Sadzam. And yeah, they do that here in Japan, it's weird. Okay, spoiler holes here, and then you can see the outline in rust where the spoiler used to be, and that's the same business on both sides. Okay, and then faded big time on the top of the spoiler here. And it's actually made out of Kevlar, if you look underneath. So that's fun. Okay, so the U3 dent that's in the middle of this door, it's not that bad at all. I was considering it's going to be bigger than that. Let's have another look at these tires. Wow, stick out tires. It's cool. I don't care what people say. I like this car. Okay, open the doors super wide, easy to get in, and then if you need more space, then ta-da, more doors. And so that's how you get into the back of this car. It was kind of a party piece for it. It's how you can have people actually sit in the back seat of your two-door sports sedan or coupe. I guess you would consider this a coupe instead. Reasonable legroom actually, and cup holder, and smells like transmission fluid. Seats are in good shape because I couldn't find that cigarette burn, I guess just there. Steering works well. Nice conditioned leather steering wheel. Narrow spot to put your feet. I didn't mind while driving. It does look really funny because there's a big transmission hump. Funny for such a small engine how big the transmission is. There we go. There's the cracks in the dashboard. Regular gauges here. Climate control here. AC works. Mini disc. CD and 6-speed manual. The ones outside Japan also have the 6-speed. I don't know if the gear ratios are different considering you get the more power in the Japanese one. I think it feels fast. It doesn't feel ultra fast, but it's a good amount of power. I think 240 power fits this car really well. Okay, closing the door. Have to do backs first. Can't get out of the back unless you... That's interesting. I wonder if you get into the back and then you close the doors like this, if the people in the back are able to get out. I don't want to try it because I don't want to get stuck inside. Okay, so that's going to be the end of this video here. Midnight racing, total tuning support for street car and competition car, and Mazda speed, and a Deeps Adzam. So there you have it. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comment section or email us. You can find our website, a link to that in the description. So hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to have a lunch now because I'm starving. Bye-bye.